Hello and welcome back to the Midweek Check-In. I'm your host, Euan Bennet, and if you haven't done so already, please do hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you're listening or watching so that you never miss an episode. For those that are new here, the Midweek Check-In is a weekly short episode to help you get the most out of your week. An intentional space that will allow you to take control of your life both professionally and personally. Today we're talking about something that can completely shift your trajectory. Reassessing your goals. It's easy to fall into a trap of setting goals, and as someone who loves to goal set, I can speak from experience. You put your head down, you grind forward without ever stopping to ask, is this the right direction for me? Am I doing the right thing? Life changes, circumstances shift, and sometimes the goals that we set 6 months or even 6 weeks ago no longer align with where we are heading or where we want to be. And this is where the power of one question can make all the difference. By simply asking yourself the right question at the right time, you can gain clarity, refocus, and ensure that you're working towards the goals that truly serve you. By the end of today's check-in, you'll have got a better understanding of how to reassess your goals, realign your focus, and use one powerful question to guide your next steps. So, I had this goal that I'd been working towards for a long time. It was relatively big, but I kept trying. I told everyone about it this time, I wrote it down, I'd mapped out all the steps that I needed to take. I was doing everything right, but deep down, something wasn't feeling 100%. So at first I ignored it. I'd told myself that it was just the hard part, let's stick it out. It was the messy middle that I'd heard so much about and I hadn't really felt. But the feeling didn't go away. And every step forward just felt heavier, harder, less meaningful, more stressful. And finally, I got asked a simple question. Why is it so important to you? I didn't have an answer. Somewhere along the way, I'd lost sight of why I wanted to achieve that goal. I'd kind of forgot why I'd set the goal in the first place. But it wasn't the goal that was wrong. I had changed. My life situation had changed. It just wasn't aligned with who or what I wanted to be at that moment in time. That one question forced me to reassess. It wasn't easy. It gave me clarity because I needed to pivot and focus on something that actually excited me or gave me a bit of a spark. But from that moment, I realised that the importance of checking in with your goals regularly to make sure that they still align with your core values and where you want to be in life. Much like dreams, your goals are not set in stone. They're meant to evolve as you do. It's human nature. And I think the mistake that most of us make is thinking that changing or reassessing a goal means that you've failed. But it's not true. Reassessing isn't about giving up. It's about realigning. It's about making sure that the time, the energy, the resources that you're investing are actually moving you towards the life or the moment that you want to achieve. The question is, how do you reassess your goals in a way that feels intentional and productive? And it starts with that powerful question. What does it matter to me? Or what does it matter to you? The question forces you to pause, look into it, and if you can't answer it, or the answer feels out of line with your values and who you want to be, then maybe it's a sign that something needs to shift. So let's put this into like an exercise, into a bit of theory. The goal check-in. It's a quick way to reassess your goals. Make sure they're still serving you and that you're still getting the most out of them. So, step 1, list your top 3 goals. Nice and simple. List what you want to achieve. 3 things that you've set out to do. These can be professional, personal, mix of both. It can be anything that you're currently working towards. 3 of them. Ask yourself the why question. Why does it matter to you? What impact will achieving the goal have in your life? Does the goal align with your values and what's important to you right now? And are you pursuing it for yourself or because you feel as though you should? Be honest with your answers. If your why feels unclear or forced, then maybe it's time to reassess. And then finally, step 3, realign or refocus. If a goal doesn't align with your values or current priorities, don't be afraid to adjust it. Don't be afraid to change it. That might mean redefining your goal, changing it a little bit, breaking it into smaller steps, or just even letting it go altogether. Remember, you're not starting over, you're moving forward with more clarity and more purpose to achieve the life that you want. For the goals that do resonate, take a moment to reconnect with them. Visualize what achieving that goal would mean to you. Remind yourself why it matters. That simple act can reignite your motivation and keep you moving forward. But why should you do this? Because when you don't check in with your goals, you risk spending so much time and energy on something that no longer means anything to you or serves you. That'll lead to burnout, frustration. It'll lead to, quite honestly, just getting pissed off with everything because you'll feel like a waste of time. But when you take the time to reassess, you're giving yourself permission to change the direction, to grow. You're building a life and a career that aligns with who you want to be and who you are, not with who you first were when you set that goal. And here's the best part. Reassessing doesn't mean starting over. It means stepping back, reevaluating the map and adjusting the path so that you can move forward with more confidence and purpose. This week, if you do anything, take 5-10 minutes to yourself to reflect on your current goals. Write them down, ask yourself why they matter, and be honest with how you feel. Does it align with you? Does it not? Remember that reassessing your goals isn't a setback. If anything, it's a step forward. It's a huge step forward. By asking yourself the right question, you can realign your focus, build momentum towards the life that you truly want. Thank you for tuning in to the Midweek Check-In. I'll see you next week for another dose of insight and what I hope is inspiration. But until then, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and of course share the show. And I'll speak to you all very, very soon.